Hello, everyone, and welcome to this session. This is DevSecCon Australia, and DevSecCon Australia is a chapter of the global DevSecCon community, which is an inclusive community to help educate and enable developers in application security. If you haven't subscribed, please make sure you subscribe to our channel for all amazing DevSecOps content going forward as well. And today we're going to be joined by Sumit Ranjan, who is a senior security engineer at Bain & Co, talking today to us around AI and how that can be used by DevSecOps engineers, and that's going to be both for security and developers alike. So before we jump into the session, a few little bits of notes. And first of all, who am I? This is my first time I'm moderating a DevSec Con Australia session. I'm not usually here, but my name's Simon Maple. I'm the principal developer advocate at Sneak. I've been in development and security teams for 20 plus years. Really looking forward to listening to this session because I'm actually moving more into an AI role today. So very interested in learning from Sumit. Yeah, as I mentioned, I'm not usually the host. Unfortunately, awesome chapter leader of DevSecCon Australia had to step down. So we're actually looking for someone, a fresh face, to take the reins of our wonderful community. So if you're up for and interested in getting involved and being a part of this community and leading this community with the team, please head over to devseccon.com for all the details about how to do that, or simply shoot us an email, info@devseccon.com. We'd love to have you on board and help you run this community. Equally, we'd love to have as much feedback as we can to help continue improve both DevSecCon Global as well as DevSecCon Australia. So please find us on Twitter, do a search for DevSecCon, or we've got a DevSecCon Discord server. So please join that as well. And in fact, that's the best place to interact, not just with us, but also our speakers. So the link is there on screen. Please, if you haven't signed up, grab that and sign up now. Also, if you're listening to this as a recording after the session has gone live, you can still ask questions in Discord. It's a constant community stream, so feel free to ask your questions there, and we'll absolutely get them answered as well. As I mentioned, this can be replayed, and all of our sessions are available to rewatch online on our website. So do share it with friends, colleagues, or hopefully both people you don't like as well. Share it as many people as you can. Okay, that's enough from me. First of all, I want to introduce Sumit into the stream. So I'll bring Sumit on. Sumit, welcome. How are you?
Hey, hello Simon. Just wanted to make sure that I'm audible to you guys. So can you give me a thumbs up if you can hear me?
Absolutely, we can totally hear you. Hopefully you can hear us. How are you doing, Sumit? Are you well?
Yeah, I'm doing fine. How are you?
I'm doing very well, and it's the coming up to the end of the day where you are today. Whereabouts are you dialing in from today, Sumit?
So currently, I have been joining from New Delhi, India.
Awesome.
So just I'm on the verge of completing my day. It's still like afternoon, but yeah, looking forward for the session.
And I'm just starting mine in the UK, and I'm sure folks in Australia have already had a great day as well. So wonderful! This is part of the global community that we have today. Now, Sumit, today you're going to be talking to us about AI, not just about how AI affects or can affect the development teams, but also the security teams as well, which is very often something which we don't think about as much. A lot of the hype is around how we make development faster and things like that. So I think this is going to be a great session to kind of cover beyond developers as well. Correct?
Yep, that's correct. And there are a lot of things that we will be seeing in this session. So probably I will start with sharing my screen, and
Absolutely,
we'll directly jump into the topic.
absolutely. Over to you.
So can you guys see my screen?
We can see your screen. Yep. Actually, we can see your presenter view rather than your live view. Do you have two screens running?
Just allow me a moment. Well, I don't have two screens. I have a single screen, but let's go with this. I think just allow me a moment and will be perfect. Cool. Can
Perfect.
you
Let's
see
do
my
it.
screen now?
Yeah, that looks great.
So again, thank you everyone. I'm Sumit Ranjan, senior security engineer at Bain& and Co. I have been practicing security for the last 7.5 years, and I have been in application security for the last couple of years. I'm totally excited to talk to you about the captivating convergence of AI and DevSecOps engineering. In this session, we'll delve into the fundamental concepts of AI and its direct implications on DevSecOps engineering. We'll see some of the challenges faced by DevSecOps engineer while following the traditional DevSecOps approach. Then we'll further dive into some of the remarkable ways in which AI can enhance the security and the efficiency within the DevSecOps practices. Uh, Starting from machine learning for threat detection to automating the security within the software development lifecycle, we'll see how AI can optimize the DevSecOps process. Just a small disclaimer, in this session, we'll restrict ourselves uh, for discussing the benefits of AI within the DevSecOps. However, as far as the risks are concerned, maybe we can plan another session to discuss that. So, with that said, let's quickly get started. So, we all have been hearing this buzzword AI for the past more than 7 months, especially after the introduction of ChatGPT. However, this term is not new. So, what is AI? AI is smart computer programs or machine that can learn from experiences, right? That can adapt to new situations and take decisions to solve problem without any human intervention. As I said, this concept is not new. So it all started like back in 1950 with a Turing test performed by the famous mathematician called Alan Turing, where he published a research paper that speculated about creating a machine that can think. In 1966, the first chatbot was released called Eliza. Well, I'm not going deep into the history part, but it was around mid 2000 where AI has started influencing the business world. Uh, Companies like Google and Facebook, obviously now called as Meta, had started investing in some of the research project of AI, and that has led to some of the remarkable breakthroughs. Google made AI good at finding information. So just think of it like a smart librarian who knew where to find everything, and that has helped the people over the internet to find for the right content. Similarly, Facebook used AI to enhance their algorithm to give users specific recommendation to their users. As time evolved, there has been enhancements were made on deep learning techniques, and the famous like ChatGPT that we all witnessed last year, developed by OpenAI in November 2022. So this is how AI evolved over the years. So let us now see some of the key concepts and terms that have evolved to understand this technology in a better way. Now, these concepts represent the smart cutting edge advancement that has shaped the manner in which we are currently interacting with AI to understand its full potential. Well, AI is a very broader term. Machine learning is one of its contemporary manifestation. It is a specific approach of AI that focuses on creating a model or that focuses on developing an algorithm that can help computer to learn from data and also enhance the performance on a specific task over a given period of time. Instead of doing the explicit step by step programming, machine learning heavily relies on data, and on the basis of that they do their prediction or they do their decision making. Generative AI is a variant of machine learning, and that can demonstrate the ability to produce fresh content. So think of it like a smart computer artist that can create its own music, or that can create its own painting, or even that can create its own stories. So generative AI is that artist that can learn from examples and create new things. LLM, that is a large language model, falls under the category of generative AI. It is based on deep learning technique. This also possesses the ability to like create human like text. So think of it like a computer program that has awareness, or that has the knowledge of a lot of words and a lot of languages. GPT, that is generate G- excuse me, GPT, that is generative pre-trained transformer. So it is like one of the series of LLM that has been created by OpenAI, and it has been in like under the development since 2018. The latest release in this series is GPT-4. And last but not the least, Chat GPT, uh, that has been created using the concept of GPT and designed, and this has been like trained to engage in human like conversation. So this is like some of the fundamentals of AI. I think we are good with the AI fundamentals. So now, as a DevSecOps engineer, if you're currently thinking how I can get benefited from these AI, or how I can incorporate these AI technique within my day-to-day job, let me tell you that some of the companies have already started investing in AI, and have already paid the already subscribed to the paid subscription to explore some of the features. So the ultimate aim of AI is not only just to think like a human, but to perform tasks and to make decisions that are accurate, valuable, and at the same time secure. Now, before jumping into how AI can um, influence, or how AI can optimize the DevSecOps process, I would like to take a moment and know from you what comes to your mind when we say DevSecOps challenges. Feel free to share your thoughts in the chat section, or comment section, in fact. Okay. So now let's see what the challenges are in DevSecOps. So before jumping into the challenges section, I'm assuming that you guys have a good understanding of DevSecOps. If not, then let's quickly brush up some of the key concepts that will help us in understanding these challenges in a better way. So DevSecOps is one of the trending approach within application security. Excuse me. That focuses on introducing security in the beginning of software development lifecycle. Though the DevSecOps has been introduced to prioritize security by taking shifting left. However, there are certain challenges associated with it, and some of the challenge include, and one of the in fact like one of the challenges include how to incorporate the analysis derived from the architectural risk or architectural design. uh, this is like one of the challenges, because like some of the some of the tasks that involves threat modeling sometimes are hard to integrate within the pipeline. Methodologies like DevOps or even Agile are very popular, and they are valued for their ability to deploy the application in a fast speed or fast pace. However, implementing security within these methodologies can be can be difficult sometimes, because one of the challenges is to know exactly at what place you need to put the security component. The other challenges could be the tool selection, though the DevSecOps paradigm encourages or recommends to implement more number of tools. However, when it comes to implementing this tool, there could be some challenges regarding the tool selection or tool sets owned by the security team as well as owned by the development team or maybe the other team. Because like when it comes to selecting tools, every team has their own set of understanding. Every team has their own set of preference depending on a specific advantages. So this led to even like two different team within the same department going for different tool to perform a same task, like whether it could be SAST or DAST. Now the main problem comes when even though you select a tool, it has its own limitation. For example, any SaaS tool that can be used to inspect source code or like code binary code without running the application. So like one of the challenges in implementing the SaaS tool is to deal with the false positive, and that takes a considerable amount of time to do or to perform some of the manual analysis to make sure that you review those false positive. And sometimes this delay or this can act as a hindrance within the software development lifecycle because it overall ultimates delay the delivery of the product. Additionally, this also requires a developer that has security mindset to review these alerts generated from these tools. Now, we all know that strong communication and strong collaboration are the key factors in DevSecOps process. However, the other challenges is inter-team collaboration. The collaboration issue can be caused by the difference in the mindset between the development team and the security team. uh, Development team are more focused towards creating an application, the deploying the code in the releases. However, the the security team are more inclined towards finding the vulnerabilities and getting them fixed. Sometimes developer also have this sentiment that their work is being criticized or being judged by the security folks. However, this is not true, but sometimes they get unhappy to lose the autonomy of their own work, and they start performing in the silos. So this silo-based work culture, especially in the developer community, can be very uh, can act as a hindrance within the DevSecOps process because it overall hampers the communication that is required to happen between the stakeholders. Now, the other challenges could be the integration challenges, especially within the multi-cloud environment when it involves microservices or when it involves some of the architecture that are automated and distributed. So implementing security within those architectural scenarios is a hard nut to crack. So these are like some of the challenges. Again, like there could be more, there could be less, but at the higher level, these are like some of the challenges of security or some of the challenges within the DevSecOps security. Now we have seen the challenges. Now let's see how we can incorporate AI within DevSecOps to overcome with these challenges. So this is how AI influenced DevSecOps looks like, where AI can be integrated within the different phase of DevSecOps, starting from planning phase to the code phase, build phase, test phase, overlapping the security aspects, and also covering the ops part of deploying and monitoring. Now, let's see some of the practical use case that we can incorporate within this DevSecOps process to integrate AI. But before like moving further, I just want to clarify that the tools and the platform that I will be discussing within these practical use case are for informational and for educational purpose, and I'm not recommending any of this tool. So one of the practical use case is to integrate AI assisted technologies within the planning phase of DevSecOps. uh, tasks or activities like threat modeling can be done in the planning phase to detect vulnerabilities initially within the software development life cycle. And in order to achieve this, we would be referencing the threat modeling tool from Aristian Aribot, which is AI enabled tool. It utilizes artificial intelligence technique and algorithm to perform automated threat modeling, and that can be very helpful for like both the teams, the development teams as well as the security folks, who are looking forward to automate the process of visualizing security threats in application environment, especially in public cloud environment such as AWS and Azure. So let's see how this tools looks like. So this is the dashboard that reflects some of the most common threats and most commonly used components. So in order to get started with this tool, the first thing that you need to do is to upload the diagram. This diagram could be uh, any architectural diagram specific to your application or project. For the reference, I have used Microsoft Teams. So this is the Microsoft Teams architecture that includes a lot of component. So now, what happens in the backend? The trained model of this now Aribot identifies the key component involved within the architectural diagram, and on the basis of key component, they provide the information about threats and their respective countermeasures, which are specific to each component. For example, in this case, one of the component used within the diagram is Azure Web App, and there are respective threats associated with this component. You can see that. Now, each threat has its own countermeasures. These countermeasures are are pretty transparent and can be verified over the cloud, and this can be treated as a security requirements that can be worked within the team to implement the security measures. Now, as I said, this is very transparent. It means this can be verified from the cloud provider, whatever the cloud provider you are using, whether it is AWS, Azure, or GCP. So the thing that you need to do is get integrated those cloud platform with this uh, Aristian Aribot platform and perform the scan. Now, once the scan is done, you can verify these countermeasures that you have defined within the threat modeling, whether it actually adhere to your infrastructure or not. If it is, then you can include these countermeasures and no, proceed with the steps to implement the security controls. And if it not, then you can simply ignore this. Now, one of the thing to highlight here is all of these things that we are talking about are currently happening in the backend, and all these processes are a part of automated threat modeling. Now, these countermeasures has these countermeasures has respective controls. These controls can be consisted of any nest framework, or it could be from a cis benchmark, or even it could be from ISO 27001 control. So depending on the controls, we have application security checks. This is something that helps you to realize or to understand whatever you are doing is correct or not, and accordingly you can implement these security checks within your threat modeling. Now, as far as integration of this Aristian Airbot is concerned, this can be integrated within the Azure DevOps platform. Uh, the only thing that you need to do is to go to the marketplace, enable the extension from there, do the authorization and authentication by just like creating the services. Now, create a pipeline, go to the task, and search for Eribot. And once you get the option over there, you can get it included within the pipeline. So you can see that within the task, it includes some of the information about Azure subscription and the resource on which you want to get this applied, right? So this is No, Aristio and Airbot in the nutshell, and this can help a lot in performing the automated threat modeling. Moving to the next practical use case. So the next practical use case is incorporating the AI assisted technologies within the code phase of DevSecOps process. And in order to achieve this, GitLab offers one of the AI enabled feature called code suggestion. So this is AI based coding assistant that can provide real time feedback to the developers during the coding process. It can also help in analyzing the code snippet, suggesting secure coding practices, and further helps in automating the code review processes. It also helps developer to focus on innovation because it ultimately decreases the time involved in writing code. This can be integrated via VS Code. So the only thing that you need to do is to enable the GitLab workflow within the VS Code and enable this code suggestion feature within the GitLab. Again, this feature is in beta phase as of now. However, it supports some of the most commonly used and most of the like powerful languages like Python, JavaScript, and SQL. So let us see how we can use code suggestion in real-time scenarios, or how it can help the developer in writing code. So code suggestion can be very useful in performing some of the common tasks like importing Python packages. Next, code suggestion can also be useful in completing the functions. You can see the prompt that is uh, it is suggesting to the developers while writing the code. You can also use the defined functions in class form. Next, code suggestion can also be very helpful in filling up the content depending on context. Next, code suggestion can also be leveraged to use some of the common API interfaces that can help developer to start with new APIs. and write down some of the boiler plate code that can be further customized as per the requirement. So here we are taking a fast API as a reference, and we are creating an instance for Hello World. Further, we are creating some of the example through which we can input the data within this fast API. Code reference, code suggestion can also help in recommending some of the common boiler plate code, like connecting to the SQL databases. So these are some of the common scenarios that we have discussed. Again, like this feature is currently in beta phase, so there are a lot of enhancements where currently will be made on, and you can explore this feature via GitLab. Now, the next practical use case that we would like to discuss is integrating AI within the build and the sec. And this is something that can be can be done via utilizing a feature within GitLab called explain the vulnerability. This feature is AI assisted feature which is based on the combination of large language model and vulnerability information. And this can be very helpful for the developers because there are certain instances where the developer might not be aware about a specific vulnerability which they come across for the first time. So explain the vulnerability is the feature that can help them to understand the importance of vulnerability, and it also suggests some of the suggestion through which they can get this vulnerability fixed. Now again, this is also in a beta phase or experimental phase as of now, but let's see how this feature looks like. So we have a Docker build file that consists of some of the vulnerabilities, and these vulnerabilities are SAST vulnerabilities, SAST finding. So let's focus on some. Let's focus on the first finding. Now, when we click onto the description part, this platform itself has a built-in plugin that explains that shows like how to explain this vulnerability with AI. So once you will click that link, you will be given some of the information about the vulnerability, and it also gives some of the information about the attack vectors that can be leveraged to exploit this vulnerability. It also gives some of the examples of fix how this vulnerability can be remediated. So in this particular specific section, the vulnerability is related with the Docker build file, where the images are currently uh, being deployed at the root level because there's no specific user defined within the Docker file. So in order to remediate this vulnerability, you need to add that user. So what you can do is go back to the Docker build file, open the build file, and you can add the user over here to remediate this specific vulnerability. So again, this is like one of the feature. There are a lot of tools available in the market which are industry specific that can be used to integrate within the security via via CI/CD pipeline. Some of the powerful tool which are AI based or Sneak. In fact, that can be also used for performing SAST, source composition analysis, even scanning the infrastructure as code. So there are a lot of tools that can be leveraged. Now, moving to the next use case. So other use cases can be integrating this AI assisted technologies within the remaining phase of DevSecOps process. Obviously, due to the time limitation, we won't be able to discuss each and every scenarios specific to the remaining phases. However, this is something that can be done. For example, for testing phase, there is a tool called Catalans that can be used for doing the performance testing, and integrating the Catalans tool with the GPT plugin. You will be able to write some of the automated test cases. And again, like for the remaining phases, there are some of the tools available that can be leveraged to optimize the DevSecOps process or phase. So we have seen some of the practical examples here, how AI assisted tools can be leveraged within this DevSecOps process to optimize the DevSecOps process. So let's now move to see some of the key benefits of using AI in security. Now, enhanced automation. So since we can incorporate the AI assisted features or AI assisted technologies within the DevSecOps process, so that will help in reducing the manual effort. Machine learning algorithms can scan code configurations and network traffic for vulnerabilities, and this will ultimately going to reduce the need for extensive manual testing. Improved accuracy. AI algorithms can analyze a large volume of data with precisions, and this will help in detecting more number of vulnerabilities. As this is precise, so this will help in detecting the more security issues which are more accurate, at the same time reducing the number of false positives. Again, this is something that cannot be done in a day or two, but it will take some time as these models learn from experience. So uh, the more the model will get mature, the more precision it will give. Proactive risk management. So this is something that we have already discussed in the previous examples, where we can use threat modeling within the planning phase of DevSecOps to proactively do the risk management. Now, incorporating AI assisted technologies within the threat modeling can help in predicting potential security risks and vulnerabilities by analyzing historical security data and patterns. Adaptation to emerging threats. Machine learning models can adapt to new attack techniques and evolve with the evolving threat landscape, providing better protection against emerging risks. However, there are certain limitations, like it will not going to detect the zero-day vulnerability. However, when the information about those zero-day vulnerability gets updated on the databases, it can consume those information from there, and it can learn from those data, understand the patterns, and then it can enhance the adaptation to the emerging threats. So that's it, guys. Happy to take questions.
Awesome. Thank you very, very much, Sumit. Very, very interesting session. And yeah, for folks that are wanting to ask some questions, feel free to either do so in the Discord chat, or also you can do it through the YouTube comments. And Sumit, I think you were kind of like, you're a couple for me, actually, first of all, while people are typing away. Um, you were alluding to the fact that towards the end there, that, AI will continue to get better. What are the areas that you see right now as some of the maybe the biggest pitfalls of AI? Because I think AI is obviously an area which is, studies have shown how much it can actually make developers and development much easier, much more productive. People wanting to wanting to use it, and rightly so. But what should we be careful about? What are the areas that we should consume with a little bit of trepidation?
Well, every coin has two sides. Now, some of the sides are very beneficial. On the other side, it can be harmful or dangerous as well. So when it comes to taking precaution, I think data security is the area where we need to be very much conscious and concerned, because enabling any of these features within the AI would require you the consent of allowing the data, and this data can be shared with the third party vendors as well. Now, companies probably not feel comfortable in sharing this data. Depending on the severity of this data, the data can be critical, the data can be very sensitive. So that is the one area we need to be very much concerned
Mhm.
prior to enabling these features within the production environment when it comes to implementing these features. However, as I said, this is the future, right? AI is the future, and as this technology will advance, this will going to improve and will be more secure.
And in the future, do you have any? If you was to get the crystal ball out, do you have any kind of like thoughts around, where we're going to be in a year? I mean, well, sometimes the question is, what's it going to look like in 5 years? But I think it's impossible to say that with AI. But maybe what's it going to look like in 6 months, 12 months? Where are the areas that you feel AI will next impact the way we have DevSecOps programs and plans going forward?
So I'm very much positive about the uses of AI in the coming years or in the coming days, because as I said, like there are a lot many companies started investing in the AI and trying to explore the features. Since we have seen in the last like couple of decades, especially in the last decade, there's a huge enhancements were made in the AI. So this will definitely be going to in use in more and more tasks. So
Mm.
I'm looking forward to get this implemented more within the DevSecOps process as well.
Yeah, yeah, and it's interesting actually because I've noticed a number of companies, depending on the company size and company type, a number of companies that are really happy for their employees to kind of like, yeah, let's throw AI in because we recognize the benefits. Others sometimes are a little bit more conservative and they kind of say, yeah, we want to use AI, but we don't understand the risks and things like that. And so a number of companies are saying, look, we're going to put a ban on AI until we understand it better, or even in a few months till we can kind of like mitigate potential issues and things like that. Is this something you're seeing as well? What advice kind of like would you give to folks in the security space, I guess, mostly there, to understand the risk and understand the mitigations better?
So the one suggestion that I will give is proceed with caution, because again this is unexplored territory and phase of advan- still in the phase of enhancement. We have seen in the past some of the countries had banned the uses of chat gpt due to the exposure of data, and there can be data security concerns as well. So that is something which will again like take some time, because the rapid pace in which this technology is currently advancing, we also need to make sure that it is uh, secure. And once we understand how much secure this technology is, I think incorporating these things in the real world would be pretty much easier.
Yeah. Amazing. Well, thank you very much, Sumit. That's all we have time for today. For those watching and for those watching on replay as well, please continue to drop questions into the Discord chat, and we will continue to get those answered for you at a later date as well. A big thank you to Sumit. It was great having you on the virtual session today. Hopefully, we'll see you again on at DevSecCon. And thank you for everyone listening. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. There'll be future sessions on DevSecOps Australia, so do check the website. And in the meantime, remember to share this video as well to all your friends and colleagues, and tell others about the community, and we can grow the community together. Thank you very much, all. We've been DevSecOps, an inclusive community that helps to educate and enable developers in application security. Thanks all, and bye for now.
Thank you, guys.